Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hey, welcome everybody to another episode every fucking time.
Fuck you. You're so bad.
You know what? I hate you so much, and we haven't even started the show. Welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your absolute shitty host.
She's a blonde. Just own it.
You know what? I wish I could throw stuff at the camera, but it's set up nice, so I'm not going to. Regardless, I'm Shae Zombie. This asshole over here is Cyborg Valkyrie. Say hello, you bitch.
This blonde bitch to my screen right is Shae Zombie. 2+² Shae Zombie. Read the description. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. Fuck you, Shae. Continue, please.
And we're here for a super awesome campaign called GROM with Gilly down below. How you doing, Gilly?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to say thank you for having me on this episode. Really cool. Really cool.
Thank you, Gilly. You're my new favorite guest.
That's so mean. Okay. Okay, well, now that you have clearly picked a side, go ahead with your pitch, bitch.
I'm not ready to share screen, asshole.
Oh,
I feel like that's your fault.
Well, did I really pick sides? I don't.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, so what can I say? Galactic Rodents of Mayhem is just a throwback to that, Saturday morning cartoon nostalgia. It's like Ninja Turtles meets Star Wars, but with space capybaras. It's definitely cool. We did pretty well in our campaign. And what can I say? It's fan service as far as pop culture reference with a story that can hold its own. It's going to be fun. It's what you're looking for in comics and in storytelling. We get a lot of political crap we see in our stories now, and it compromises, a good narrative. And what I'm trying to do is show, hey, we can get back to what works and make it fun. So this is like 90s cartoons on roids is pretty much Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. So, yeah, lots of love there. The artwork is going to be incredible. And like I said, the story is something I wrote something that I thought it would be fun to read. And it's literally 100 pages for $25 and $10 shipping. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Top quality work. I've crowdfunded quite a few projects. This was my biggest project to crowdfund, and I was able to crowdfund it. So, it's in the works. Sebastian, who's the artist, if you check my Twitter, Gilly Deltrez, I'm always putting up stuff about Galactic Rodents of Mayhem progress, everything. And this is going to be fun, man. People are liking it. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I just have to say, I had never, I love guinea pigs and smaller, rodent type pets.
Yeah.
Not rats, not mice, but like guinea pigs and hamsters and gerbils and stuff like that. I had never heard of a capybara before.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I never heard of a capybara either. And when I was trying to think of a new idea or a new story, because me and Sebastian, we did something called Lair. It was really dark, and we're like, what, let's do something fun. And I'm looking at let's bring it to the 90s, but let's make it fun. And it's hard to capture that Ninja Turtle. I mean, people have done it to death. I mean, there's a ton of ripoffs. Street Sharks, right? Like Biker Mice from Mars, all these. So I'm like, what? We're going to capture that fun, but I'm going to, orchestrate and coordinate like a really good story that people are going to really see like, wow, this is more than just a popcorn, flick or something like that. It's more than just artwork action, high octane action. There's going to be a good story there. But capybaras is what sold me. I didn't know what the hell a capybara was. Like when I was trying to think of an animal, Sebastian's like, let's do capybaras. I'm like, what the heck is a capybara?
They're amazing. I could ride one. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how excited I would be if somebody was like, there's a capybara for you. I'd be like, it's an adorable, gigantic guinea pig.
That's literally what it is. Shae, I didn't know what the hell it was. So kudos to you for knowing what it was. I did not know. And when I Googled it, he's like, This is what he told me. He's like, they're the most chillest animal. They get along with every creature.
Like, legit.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. And he said crocodiles. And when I'm like, come on, dude, there's no way a big rat will get along with a crocodile. And when I literally Googled capybara crocodile images, I found not one. I found like a bunch. And I'm like, this is they really get along with crocodiles. So they get the man. If you get an alligator crocodile's respect, like for me, I'm like, that's just the essence of cool. And that was the fuel for me to just say, you know what? It's going to be capybaras. And then I came up with the names, Bash, Ripple, Mona Lisa. It's a trio. They're raised by Gangong, who's like the gunslinger, bounty hunter gunslinger, the lizard gunslinger. So he's like the reptilian mentor, a play on Ninja Turtles, how they were the reptiles that had
just going to ask.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, there's a lot in there. There'll be references to Star Wars, references to Ninja Turtles in there. There's a lot in there, a lot to like. So people will enjoy when it's all said and done. We even got sharks.
Yeah, is this a shark right here?
Yeah, Draco. We got a lot. It's really gonna be a fun book, man. I'm telling you, it's bigger than what I anticipated. When we're coming up with a story, we try to keep it within 40 pages. When I was writing, I'm like, there's no way I can keep it to 40. I said it's gonna be 100 pages. It's gonna be a big thing. And I was thinking about it like a trilogy of sorts, where you just get one book a year, and you just like, well, how like when the Lord of the Rings came out, it was like a trilogy where we're waiting for that one movie, then you had to like wait for the next one. So that's kind of what I had in mind for GROM.
I gotta ask, these rounded ears, are these like downtrodden mice?
Yeah, it's hard to see. You'll see in the colored version, they're literally drug addicted mice. They're literally hepped up on crack. Yeah, it's just poor mice. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with it, with the story. Figure, you can't have white lab rats if they're not, hepped up on something or being, drugged up or something. I thought it'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
Is that a bird?
Yeah, that's our little what do we call it? That's our introductory. How would you say it? It's like okay, so what you're seeing here is not going to be in the original story. This was like a story we created as like to pitch our Galactic Rodents of Mayhem book. It's literally 3 pages that shows you the essence of what our characters are about, what we're trying to do with this book. So literally that little hummingbird, or I think it's a hummingbird, is literally like the auctioneer that's auctioning off their flagship. This is the Burning Rose. And it's literally like, it's kind of like a little backstory on the Burning Rose. Like, it's like a little extra bonus material for something that we're, people like, what? They don't know. It won't make sense until you read the book. And then we'll throw this in as like, the epilogue, like, this little 3 pages where it's, where the Burning Rose came from.
So what is she doing here with her hand? Because like I made sure I had my glove and everything, so I was as close as possible.
I love the cosplay. It's so cool. I could actually say someone legitimately cosplayed Mona Lisa, and it made my day just to see that. You got the red going on, you got the glasses. I love the hair, the little makeup, and you got the glove. The most important thing. So
I even did the purple for you.
Yes. I can see
that. Wait,
that.
should I take off your glasses? Let's see.
There you go. Yeah, the reflection of the glasses are kind of getting away. Nice. Very nice. That's amazing. So her glove, like Mona Lisa is like, I want to say she's like a Raphael Donatello mix, where she's also kind of like the discipline for the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. She's very fierce, but she's the brains as well. So she hacks everything, and that glove is like a digi glove that she could use to like hack different things. She could even control the Burning Rose remotely. It's just, we got a lot that we're planning for now. These are just little snippets, but yeah, she's awesome character, Mona Lisa.
I agree. And then those are her like 2 bodyguards, I guess, or something with her.
Well, Bash and Ripple, those are her brothers. Ripple with the shades here, they look like bodyguards. Yeah, Ripple, he's the pilot. He's a cool, wild card pilot. But mellow, very mellow. They
seem insanely mellow in this panel when they're beating the shit out of literally everyone anywhere near her. They seem super chill.
And the other one is Bash. He's like he's like your Raphael, I guess you could call him, like the attitude. He's hot tempered.
So
But
Bash is going to be my crush, is what you're saying.
he might be your crush because even that he's even though he's rash and brash and like that, he's still he has a semblance of justice about him. He legit wants to do the right thing. He has a code of honor as well, so he's not just reckless, although at times he is.
Is he eating something here?
Oh, so that's Ripple. So what he's he's literally coughing up. Or what is he doing? He smuggled a flashbang, a micro flashbang. So he's literally coughing it up because that was how
that's what he's throwing. Okay.
Yeah, so they're literally at this auction for like the seediest people in like the galaxy that want to bid on this ship, and their intention is to not pay for the ship but to steal it and use it for good. But sometimes they got to do bad things, to make things right. And that's their reasoning, but. They definitely have a moral compass.
I'm glad he smuggled it in by swallowing it, not the other way.
Yeah, that made for too much panel space. Yeah. Do it the other way.
That animalistic in this comic.
Well, I saw your warning T for teen down at the bottom. I'm just wondering what kind of disclaimer you'd have for that. But
yeah, definitely have to move it up to R. But the T is as T as it could get. Yeah, there's like blood, there's gore. But it's still T. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that.
Nah, you should be fine.
Hopefully,
Trust us with some of them that we've seen. I'm pretty sure that your T for teen is
okay. It could hang.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay.
And you originally had a $15,000 goal.
Yeah, the $15,000 goal was to cover the art, was to cover a moderate printing. I'm not talking about like 500, 1,000 units. It was legitimately like a really small print one that, due to how well the campaign went, it exceeded our expectations. But it's a good thing. But we got a couple stretch goals unlocked, some posters and stuff. We got trading cards out, and we're trying to get a soundtrack. Like, if you guys hear the soundtrack, this thing is like homage to again Saturday morning cartoons. And the man who I had do the score is Alan Tallis. He's really good. I had him work on the Deep Dark. I had him work on some Lair stuff. And when I told him about Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, he surprised me that when I heard the final cut, I mean, I literally had tears coming down my eyes because it just sounded so damn cool. Yeah, it was just hitting me in a way that I never thought that I can be hit. So hopefully we can unlock the soundtrack because he'll put that with all the characters we got. I mean, we got Sniper Vipers, we got, Shark Mercenaries, we got a Dark Raider who's a play on Darth Vader. We have, I don't want to say it's the Empire, but we have what's called Space. It's the Space Police Authority and Command Enterprises. So they literally are like a military police organization that literally governs the whole entire galaxy, as hard as that is. But so there's a lot of cool stuff in this comic where people will feel, it's always hard to take a chance on something new when when you're buying a book or reading any type of, even if you watch a Netflix TV show, you like, should I get into this TV show? Am I going to really like this? So with this, you're going to have a lot of familiarity. There's going to be a lot of comfort, and it'll be easy to just enjoy and let loose.
Gilly, please tell me that this sentence is no longer true.
What was it? Shipping will be an out-of-pocket expense. Well, so far, no. Now here's the thing. Interesting enough, we got New York Comic-Con coming out this year in October. My dream scenario would be to actually have a table at a New York Comic-Con with a lot of copies of GROM to sell. So, depending on what we can do, I might have to, I don't know, find a way to raise some more finances for a bigger print one that would get us a table and some books to sell. So let's see.
So not to go ahead. I was gonna say not to be like a naysayer as somebody who's tried to get into New York Comic Con before. I hope you already have reservations for a table or at least on the wait list.
Look at that. So I'm already off.
Yeah,
I do have a buddy. Yeah, I do have. Tell me.
I know even for Baltimore Comic Con, right, which is a bajillion D times smaller. they'll do it in October, and before the end of the con, they will request that everybody has their requests in and their tables paid for next year's con.
Holy cow!
And then
that's Baltimore. Wow.
And then they'll do it again in December as kind of like their final call, and then they raise the price for the next year. And you usually have until maybe February if you're lucky for Baltimore. Now, New York Comic-Con,
forget it.
It's a little bit trickier. But what I would say, instead of counting yourself out, go in and see if you can apply and get at least on the wait list, because they'll waitlist people, and people will drop like flies, or people won't
that does
pay.
happen. True. Yeah. Thanks for that, because I'm gonna.
People don't pay
that
for a table. They'll just boot them off because they've got a wait list a mile long. So you might as well go and throw your name in there. You never know, you might get picked up.
Right, and then if you can't do it, you're on the wait list. So you say I can't do it, and they'll skip you.
Right.
You'll just keep rolling.
To put on the wait list, you don't put any. Do you put something down to hold the wait list spot, like to reserve it?
Not usually.
Okay.
No, usually they'll give you notification. They'll say that you have like 7 days to pay.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, if you don't pay within the 7 days, then they'll bump you and go to the next person, because they have so many people on the wait list.
There's going to be a lot of people. I know like people are locked in, but there's going to be a lot of people dropping, like you said, because it's just how it is. So you got to be on top
every
of it.
year.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Hopefully the wait list isn't, full. Like then you have a point, because then you probably once that's full, you're done.
I mean, the thing is if you don't try, you're never going to get anywhere with it. So you might as well put your name forward and just be like, hey, if you happen to be able to get us in, that would be great. If not, then okay.
Yeah, I have a buddy who hits cons like it's not like it's just like going to church for him. He just go like just cons, and he's been all over the place. And New York Comic Con was one where I was trying to think maybe if we could share a table. I don't know. That's something I haven't shared a table before, but I know he probably has his spot already reserved for New York Comic Con already. Probably.
We can talk off air a little bit. There's a bunch of cons have their own regulations about whether you're allowed to share tables or not, or whether you're allowed to feature more than one artist and things like that. It just depends. I went to Tidewater Comic Con, and they were adamant if you had more than one artist's artwork featured, that they would boot you out. They would they would not refund you. It would be you violated their terms of service. So you really gotta you've really gotta get into, because every con is different. Like Baltimore Comic Con, they don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, they were. Now that I've said it, they won't anymore. But they used to. Thanks,
Shae.
Sorry, everybody. I just ruined it.
Well, I mean, it's good to know. I mean, definitely we'll definitely talk off air. But let's see what happens.
Since you're talking about Comic-Con, let me just interject really quickly, because I did happen to read over your stretch goals. So that kind of ties into these. So let's cover what you've already unlocked real quick. At 16K, you unlock these buttons, which are your avatar.
Yeah, just something simple. I mean, I figure people like buttons. I love buttons.
I love buttons. I have a button press just for that reason.
There you go. You see? You're a little more hardcore than me, though.
I make buttons for campaigns.
Nice. Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
17K, you unlocked bookmarks, so that's awesome. Is every physical backer getting these?
Yes, every physical backer who got their physical copy of GROM, they're getting the buttons, the bookmarks, and the other stickers, I think. Oh wow, and I guess yeah. Got a lot of stuff to be printing out. 20K, I have it as a question mark, but it was unlocked. I forgot what it was.
I got it right now.
I am right. Oh, a fan art. Okay, cool. Thank you, pages. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Wow. Okay, so apparently I'm putting in the fan art. So I might have to maybe just kind of consolidate the fan art into one page, depending on how much, because it's a 100-page book. So that's gonna hit. But
don't forget, fan art. You got to print multiples of 4 sides. So
yes, you're right on that. So it's gonna hit. And trading cards we got, so that'll be, I might have the gang.
That's fun.
As trading cards, and then the soundtrack will be a digital thing that will, I mean, it would be cool to do physical, But I don't know how much it's going to cost to like burn almost 400 CDs, or depending on who did the physical copies, and then like putting some art in it. Yeah, so but definitely there'll be at least a digital soundtrack for sure. Maybe we should update that and put digital, but yeah.
So everyone go back, because you need less than 2K to get to that.
And then 30K moves up your print deadline.
Yeah, because then Sebastian, he literally I mean, come on, we all have day jobs, and we're all grinding. I mean, you guys were just working late, and you just got on the stream. I was working at the school and being dad, and I'm like tired, but I'm like, you know what? We all locked in and we're here.
Absolutely.
So so this idea is like we'd have a little bit of extra where he could just, literally go underground in the lab and just, tunnel out all the noise and just like get to work on GROM Hardcore and churn out some more pages. So if we get to there, yeah.
You're paying him in Hot Pockets?
No, he had
in his basement.
We'll definitely, we'll quantify that Hot Pocket order. We'll give him everything. Hot Pocket, whatever else he needs. What else is something popular? Chimichangas, I don't know. Slim Jim, beef jerky,
Funyuns, I don't know.
Funyuns, yeah. He'll be loaded on snacks.
It's gonna be done end of February. Just one suggestion.
Yeah.
Put the year in here, because next year it's already next year. So now people are thinking 2021.
That's a good point. Definitely going to do that, yes.
Because I read next year and I thought, really? It's going to be another 15 months?
I'll put April of 2020, yeah. Good one, man. See? This is why I have you helping me out.
This is why we bring people on.
Man, you guys are good. And it's the little things that help, though. That's like killer. People would actually think it's literally April of next year. So
I did, because I err on the side of getting fucked. So
and crowdfunding is crowdfunding takes no prisoners, right? There's people that are still waiting for books after 5 years. I mean, I think I did a video on Kickstarters that I had backed back when Kickstarter was a thing, and I still haven't gotten one. And it's
nice.
Literally 6 years from that time. So it was kind of funny, but also not so funny, because
it was kind of funny, and then I went, "Wait, that was my money." That's
not
funny anymore.
Not at all. It's coming out of your pocket.
I forget who it was, but did you help that guy crowdfund the sandwich?
There was a dude who crowdfunded a sandwich. I heard about a dude who crowdfunded a potato salad. I didn't know a sandwich was in play. Wow.
Yeah, there was.
Is that recent?
It was a couple of years ago, but I mean, he was like, he was. I don't even want to say he was something big, but he had a job at one of the top 5 comics companies, and he crowdfunded a sandwich.
Wow.
Maybe the chat can help me out, but we'll see.
Wow.
And I gotta apologize in advance. I thought this stretch goal was a lot closer to the top to kind of tie in with what you were talking about before, but it's at 55K. I mean, it's still within reach, but
no, that ain't gonna happen. That's unless I get a big boost. Like if I get to be on EVS's show, we could talk about that. Otherwise, I gotta think of other scenarios. And one scenario I was thinking, and it's only because with comics, I noticed there's people who they are in a bubble, and they only will back what's literally on Kickstarter, and like they would have no idea GROM even exists. So I mean, a lot of people from the research I'm doing, there's just people that they just don't know about Indiegogo. They don't, and I know there's a political thing connected to Kickstarter and some, but there's people that are oblivious to that and just go to Kickstarter for comics, and literally they would be missing out on GROM. So I'm thinking about, possibly just putting it there in like a very small, campaign, limited, just something to just try to see if we get anything to just help with our New York Comic-Con goal and dreams. Dreams. Let me tell you, I did my first Comic-Con last year, and it was Tampa Bay Comic-Con. So exactly. I mean, isn't it?
No, I'm laughing because I was born in Florida, in Tampa Bay, and I lived there for 30 years. So
okay, I thought you were laughing because it's a very small Comic-Con. Like that's the first Comic-Con I exhibit at was a very small one. But
they didn't even have one when I was there. That's how that is. So.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, I heard it's one of the newer ones. Yeah.
Cons big or small? They're all kind of the same, and also a little bit different. But like I had a con that I drove 8 hours each way. Was it 8? I don't remember. It wasn't 8. It was less than that. It was 8 hours total. I think it was like 4 hours each way.
That's a lot. Wow.
And I did it every day for 3 days.
That's
it's terrible. Don't do that. It's horrible. I was almost falling asleep, and I had to talk to people. But I did better on one of those kinds of cons than in one that was like down the street from me. That was quite a bit bigger, because in some of the smaller cons there's less competition, and so if everybody's doing like anime chicks, and then I'm there with zombie pudding, and we're the only one that does anything like horror, and I say we, like I do any of this, I don't do any of it, but if it's the only table that has like a horror theme, anyone who goes to that con who's looking at horror is going to stop by our table.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about too. And I had talked to a few people that can't. Like one dude came up to me, and according to him, he was really good friends with Robert Kirkman before Kirkman was who he was with The Walking Dead and everything. Before he turned into a douchebag, according to the guy. But he had some really good insight. And he said, he's like, you're one of the few people at Tampa Bay Comic-Con like hustling your own book. He's like, you'd be better if you go to a Comic-Con that's more, I guess, indie comic focused.
Yeah.
So that's something that I didn't know, I was just like, okay, Tampa Bay, thinking, but I'm like, okay, because there's a lot of people selling a whole bunch of other stuff, not comics.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to learn.
Comic-Cons are so hit or miss, because there's some Comic-Cons where all people want are pinups that are originals. Like the Baltimore Comic-Con, when we went there, none of Tonks's fan art sold, only his original characters and original creations and original art. That's the only thing that sold. Because everyone's like, well, I mean, I could go and get, Superman from 10 other people, but where else am I going to get this exact piece? Like, you're the only person who's ever done this piece. That's what I want. So that sold really well for him. But then we've done other cons, and people were like, oh, do you have this character? And they all they wanted was fan art. I've been to cons where they didn't even want art. They wanted plushies and leggings and backpacks and pillows and shit. And I was like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, this is a waste of my time. So it's hit or miss with almost every con I've been to. We've probably done about 4 or 5, and none of them are the same.
You know what was funny? People were coming to me as if I was somebody. I mean, I don't know if that's normal. I'm a nobody. Like, I'm legit. I'm putting my stuff together. I'm trying to show what I can do for the comic world. But like now I'm kind of stringing crowdfunded books together. But I was there, and some people were coming, showing me their art. If you need an artist this, or I'm like, how'd you get a table? I'm like, what?
The thing is that somebody who's dedicated enough to put down the money for a table, and then to sit at that table for 8 to 10 hours and chill, like that's someone who's dedicated to some kind of a cause, even if they're shilling. Like, I sat next to somebody who was shilling this really shitty book, and the girl, like, at one point the guy like a panic attack breakdown because nobody was stopping at their table, and they just literally up and left their table for 4 hours. And I was like, yo, you had people stop by and were wondering where the author was and stuff. And then she started getting a couple more sales. But it's the fact that you have a table there. You must be someone. And even if you're not anyone, you're somebody that they're going to be able to know. So
yeah. It was just reassuring. It was refreshing. Like I said, I never did that. I never put myself out there. But it's kind of awkward. Like, you're sitting at this table, people walking by. But I'm not trying to – I'm like, I looked at people. I can make eye contact. I'm like, cool outfit, because cosplay is always amazing. And there's always people that will just talk. And I'll get into the organic combos. And, you don't have to feel compelled or feel like, like you need to buy my book. It's just like, let's talk. And so a lot of people I talk that way. And then like, well, what do you got here? I'm like, oh, well, this book. Like, oh, okay, cool. And then it's just, okay, cool. So I mean, I guess it's fun. It's like I could see the culture there, and when you go to a lot of them, I say like you probably start seeing the same faces. Go out to eat afterwards. Like, there's a really good energy there that I would hope to be a part of in the future. But I'm not
Yeah.
at that level yet because it is costly. You know.
It is, but you gotta consider it an investment in whatever it is that you're doing. You gotta consider it advertising. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and networking too, because
And networking.
you know,
Oh my gosh, the networking is amazing. Going to the cons and getting other.
I'm gonna punch you so fucking hard.
I love you. I'm sorry.
I spoke up once in 8 fucking minutes, and I get run over by my co-host.
Okay, I said I'm not gonna take sides here, but he has a point. Like he was calm the whole way. He jumped in and that was it, bro. You're steamrolled.
Do you know I've been to like 5 times more conventions than you, Shae?
I've worked and had a table, so.
So have I. For the con. Not for myself.
You're a hustler, dude.
Anyway, so
yeah.
What the fuck was I even gonna say?
So, oh man, good point. So okay, we're talking about the
networking, yeah, not just
networking.
with fans, but with other artists that can like hook you up with like knowledge and like getting you in the hands of other people, and just the professional connections, not just the fan connections and the advertisements. Go ahead, my awesome co-host. You may now run over.
I'm laughing because that's exactly what I was saying, but.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of worried. I am who I am, right? And I know, like on Twitter, I don't hide anything. So I don't know. Will there be people checking out my Twitter and be like, "Hey, you're comics, you're affiliate, or you associate, or you're CGV adjacent, or whatever the hell," and target me in a way that's negative?
I mean, I don't know. Are you trying to suck off the tit of the big two? If not, then I wouldn't fucking worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not
trying to look.
The big two, that's for damn sure. Definitely not.
You can be hardcore comics hate. You can just be an indie comics guy. You can be whatever the fuck you want. The bottom line is, at least in my opinion, Comicsgate was always about just a couple of core principles. Make your comics like free from propaganda,
which I'm definitely heavy on.
Treat your customers with respect. Provide a quality product.
That's like that's it. That's the commandments right there.
That's really all that Comicsgate was founded on doing. Is regardless of your politics, don't shit on your customers and make a good fucking product, and that's it.
I love that, man. And the reason why I bring it up, I did a tweet, and it was like yesterday. There's a small publisher that is interested in GROM. So I'm kind of, the exposure would be great, but then you think of the landscape of comics, it's hard to get any kind of exposure within Diamond Magazine. I'm looking at the Diamond previews, and you got like Dark Horse, its own little, subsection. You got Image, of course Marvel and DC, and then like everything else is like all the way in the back of the book. It's like, man, dude, like I don't know, I don't own a comic shop. I mean, do people like go back there and say, I want to order a few copies of this? Like my thing is, how would they even know GROM exists, even if I sign with a small publisher? So there's a lot that I'm worried about, but still thinking about the exposure, because then again, it's still getting in comic shops if outside of what I'd be able to do, because I'm not at that level yet.
No, I'm sure that we both get what you're saying. Let's talk off air, because there's some smaller publishers out there that go in, directly for the ass, no lube. So let's have a discussion when we're off air, because I don't want to name names. Skits. You worked con tables in the late 80s. That's nice. I worked elementary school in the 80s.
Which is good. Yep, that's all it takes. And it's funny he says that, because I have the same buddy of mine who does the con tables and everything. He literally put his comic in Diamond. Like, he had it released, a couple issues, and he told me the amount he paid. He told me everything he went through, and he's like, never again that I'm ever trying that without a publisher. And I'm like, wow. So it just opened my eyes, because all it does take is money. But even people that have money, it's just like, yeah, I'm still not doing this. That's crazy.
Well, it's the cost benefit. I mean, if you're paying $1,000 to get into Diamond and get you $500 worth of sales, then what the fuck's the point? To say that you're in Diamond? What's that?
Yeah, and I think it was way more than that. If I remember the numbers, it was way more than that. That's what it was surprising to me, that it was like that much. If it was 1,000, it's like, man, you know what? I'll shell out 1,000 to know I'm going to be in the book, or be in comic shops, or at least have it there and I could hustle it that way. It was an amount that I just thought was wow. So Yeah. That's a whole other issue, right? The whole
It's all a grift.
Yeah.
You know, you wanna get into fucking local comic shops. Here's an idea: go around to your local comic shops.
Yeah.
When you have a product in hand, show them, hey, look, I got this. It's a graphic novel. You know, I'll do you a deal for bulk if you want to buy, 5. Throw them on your shelves, see what happens.
I did that with my local comic shop, and it literally they had it, and I'm like, hey, did you see it? Did the owner see it? Like, yeah, we didn't get to it. Then after a while, I was like, yeah, he's just not interested. I'm like, okay, and that's Lair. If you just go to Lair on Indiegogo and you see the quality work there, this ain't no rinky dink stuff. This is again the same dude who did some Galactic Rodents of Mayhem with. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is, I mean.
Well, and it all just depends on what kind of a comic shop they're running. Like, we have a comic shop down the street from us, and I legitimately, without saying anything, I mentioned that my husband was an artist, and he was like, so bring me in some prints that he signs, and we'll just keep them back here ready to sell. And I was like, I don't have any right now. And he was like, when you get some, bring them in. I was like, okay, just like that, cool. But then there's other places, like there was a couple other shops that were telling me, hey, if you know someone who's doing comics or whatever, let us know. We can set up a signing table or whatever for if they have like a book that's out, or if you just have a bunch of prints and stuff, we can have them have a signing event and just keep them around our shop for 2 or 3 hours and advertise it and stuff. Like, a lot of the comic book shops are really big on trying to help new artists get their names out there. It's just a matter of finding one that isn't afraid to do a tiny bit extra to give back to the community, because some of them are in it just to try and make a buck, which is, I mean, if
to be honest, Shae, some of them are so fucking underwater that they're trying to pump out as much top 100 shit as they possibly can, and
I understand.
And they don't feel like they got time for that. But I mean, you've got some of the niche ones that just have like fucking long boxes out the ass, that are all about the back ordered, all about the old copies of comics and shit like that, and they'll bend over backwards for you. Oh yeah. But it just all depends on what the market's like in your area. Absolutely.
No, it really does. Like, my LCS just put all of their back issues were on sale for 50 cents. Mm-hmm. And I know why he did it, because he has the size of his comic shop. He has as the basement, and it's just literally packed full with long boxes. And he was like, I don't even know what I have anymore. I was like, do you have a system? He's like, nope. I was like, oh, that's great. Just long boxes of random comics. No clue what they are.
One day he'll just sell long boxes for $10 each, and he'll have Action Comics #1, 9.2 in there.
Imagine.
You're just going to find all the rare ones and be like, damn, that was so good.
You'll see Cecil in that basement digging through, because that's all his old videos are, going to garage sales and shit with long boxes.
I mean, the best part is the guy's name is Fudd.
That's also cool.
His name is Fudd, and if you're anywhere near, you can look up Fudd's Rabbit Hole.
Oh my God, no.
That is the comic book.
No. Okay. I am going to get the stream back on fucking track, because I am the producer, and so I'm producing. Gilly,
let's go over your tears.
Shut the fuck up. Gilly, would you please go over your tears that I've been sitting on for 10 minutes? Thank you, sir.
Oh, jeez. What we got? I think we have digital copy, $15. The physical copy is $25, $10
shipping. I know you want to get back to the conversation that you're having fun with Fudd's Hole.
I want to know more about Fudd. I just want to know more about Fudd.
You want to know about Fudd's dark hole? I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Just who names their kid Fudd? But okay, yeah, what's up?
Okay, so your digital is $15, but in all fairness, people sell their digitals for $8 or $10, and they're like a 24 page. Yours is over 100, so 15 ain't fucking bad. Page for page, that's actually
for people on a budget. That's why I did it, because I know there's people on a budget. Hey, I've been there, man. So hey, $15,
exactly
on me.
And fucking $25 for over 100-page book. I'm assuming we're talking perfect binding. It looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be traded. Definitely perfect binding. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how you can do 100 pages without perfect binding. I don't know if you gotta staple that
No, perfect. You mean without perfect binding?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I don't think you can stay. I'm sure maybe you can.
I mean, I know that they exist, but like that's an industrial. I feel like it would cost more to get the staples to staple through that many pages.
I wouldn't like how it would feel too. It'd probably too. I don't know. I like the trade paperback. It's gonna be really big too. I think it's gonna be like 9 by 12, so it's gonna be a really large book.
Oh my god,
really nice.
Shae, do I know something about printing that you don't? So, once upon a time, I was an office assistant in high school, and I will tell you that industrial copiers that have to put staples through massive, massive fucking amounts of paper, they don't use staples. They use a piece of wire.
Yeah,
it cuts it to the right length as it shoves it through the paper. So I imagine that a professional printer would do something similar, but that was just me calling you an asshole, so we can continue now.
You can call me an asshole all you want. I still bet you it would cost more to have somebody do that method than it would be to just get perfect binding. Just saying. You're such an ass. The collector edition. How about you tell us about that, Gilly, since you got an asshole?
Is the collector edition, is that the one that comes with the pinup poster of Mona Lisa?
You ask us about it.
Judging by the picture, I'm gonna say yes.
Guys, it's 12 midnight. I'm usually in bed right now, so if I don't know what's on my campaign right now, forgive me. But I swear, I think it's the one where you get like a fold-out poster of Mona Lisa as a femme fatale. She's like in this sparkly red dress. She got a digital glove with a hologram of the flagship, the Burning Rose. It's just, I thought it would be cool just to have a beautiful looking capybara, powerful figure in a poster form. You know, I just thought it'd be nice. You know, who doesn't want to do that?
One of the best things I think about the way that you have that poster like kind of situated, it almost looks like it's a little bit Jessica Rabbit.
I think Sashi did that intentionally. She's the one who did it, and I believe like I told her what I wanted.
Sashi's?
Yeah, and she worked it up, and I want to say she kind of did put a little bit of influence, but the hair was her. She had some good additions in there, but I like the femme fatale. I feel like, and there's a problem. I try to promote my campaign on Reddit, and someone's like, "Hey, it looks cool, but are you trying to sexualize the capybara?" I'm like, come on.
Yes.
Man. I'm like, dude, I'm about putting out a comic book. If that's what you think about what I'm trying to do, then obviously, you know, this is not for you. Then don't back the book. But come on, man. Like, really? You know, she looks good. I'm not trying to sexualize. I said, hey, we're going to make her a femme fatale. That's what I got back. But am I trying to sexualize it? Hey, if you turned on, that's a question you got to ask. Don't ask me that.
That's not your problem. That's someone else's problem. Like, what?
Yeah,
why are you asking me the question?
Here's the thing. Are boobs like sexualized? I mean, it's a part of a woman's body. A woman's body is beautiful. Like, where does that come to? Like, oh, it's sexual. It's a woman's body, for Christ's sake. I mean,
that's like saying is a dick sexual? It's part of a man's body. Yes, they're secondary sex characteristics.
Well, if you think about it, there was a video I came across a while back on Twitter. It's a bunch of women literally in yoga pants, like gyrating, like ridiculously. That is more sexual, okay, than a woman just nude standing on a corner. You know what I'm saying? And those women are clothed with yoga clothes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, just the act, that's more sexual, and they have their clothes on. So, but again, we could open up. I think we're getting off topic, right?
We haven't been on topic this whole damn stream. There is no on topic when you stream at midnight. Gosh.
Yeah, so people said that it was just it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
So furry, gotcha.
Furry. Hey, you know what's funny? I didn't know what the heck a furry was until someone's like, "Are you a furry?" I'm like, "What do you mean I'm a furry? Like animals are furry?" And they're like, "No, furry." Like I'm like, and I googled it, and I'm like, "Wow, there's a whole subculture. There's a whole action of people out there literally that like dressing like animals or like seeing animals anthropomorphized without clothes, engaged in all this craziness." I'm like, dang, I'm just making a cool comic book I ain't trying to get into all of that.
Just watch American Dad. That's all the education on furries you'll need. So $2, $55. $2, the digital edition, the pinup, and the MP3 theme song for $55. That's like 3 billion% off.
Is it, man? It works out. I mean, I'm trying to look out for the for the backers who have a little bit of money to spare, some who don't. What else do I got? I got one award there, or reward. Look at me, award. One reward there. For you got like a T-shirt. We got hats. We also have that's $1,000. This is a cameo award. Now this cameo is literally a character that you create. And I had it limited to 2. One person actually backed this. Okay, I literally got $1,000 for someone who wanted to create a character who is going to be part of the GROM team, and they're going to be in the 2nd volume. So that's how it's going to work. So there'll be a little cameo, but they're legitimately going to be a main character. And I thought about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They got April O'Neil, right, and they got Casey Jones. So I'm like, you know what? I got 3 capybaras. I'm like, we could add one more. But this person was like, they don't want him to be a capybara. They had like another animal they want to be. I'm like, yeah, that's good. I mean, any animal. So anyone who got deep pockets and wants to be in a book that will be a hot thing, it's going to be a hot thing. Trust me, GROM will be something special.
So the 200 is like a background character?
Oh, so I have a cameo. Oh, there you go. So now I have some of these that are cameos, right? So like, there's going to be a lot of panel real estate in the book. There's going to be a lot of moments where we can, fit in some cool additional, animals, hybrid animals, whatever. So I have some people that backed, and you'll like say if you want, I don't know, let's say you wanted a cow dressed as whatever. You just tell me the character, and we'll Easter egg it in our book. And in addition to that, you also get a sketch of your character by Sebastian. He'll do a little black and white sketch for you.
Or a deer, Shae. A deer.
A deer, yeah.
No.
I mean, a honey badger, whatever, a pangolin, whatever. There's a bunch of cool animals out there that will definitely will anthropomorph. We'll anthropomorphize. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Anthropomorphize. Yeah, you're
anthropomorphize. I'm tongue twisted. Yeah.
Anthro. There you go. You did it right on the tip.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah,
I like how you're like, it's anthro, like I'm not going to keep typing it. The anthro thing.
GROM, anthro, cameo.
Cameo.
Yo.
I'm sorry, I'm a little delirious right now.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We kept you up past your bedtime. This is what happened.
So then let's see, $250. You get a physical, a digital, the pinup, the theme song, the T-shirt, the cap. And a signed original art page?
Ooh.
Yeah, so we got so Sebastian, he loves working old school, that he does like old school. He works in a way where he'll draw it out on the page, then he'll scan it, he'll do some stuff digitally, and then so he's all over the place. But we're going to have 10 pages that we have set out that are going to be, old school. And, those people who back, they're definitely going to have a signed copy from, him and me, an original art page. So that's definitely going to be cool.
That's awesome. And then director's cut. Let's see here. Physical, digital, pinup, theme song, T-shirt, cap, a character sketch of your choice, and a signed script. Let's see. By you, which will include commentary by you and Sebastian, as in like notes going back and forth.
Yeah. Did anyone back that one?
No.
Okay, good. That's a lot of work. I'm like, man, so I'm literally gonna have, because we back and forth some stuff, but I was gonna actually have that printed out and with some of the notes he put on there, but so far no one backed it. So I would like the backing, but again, that's a lot of work. But it's cool. I mean, some people like the script. They like to see how when I write my script, I'm not with Alan Moore. I don't go super crazy with all descriptions. I write it in a way where you can kind of feel the story, and I leave it open for the artist to do whatever he needs, to make any additions he needs. The handcuffs are free. That's just, so I know some people like to see how the scripts are written, and that'd be, I guess, the kind of cool reward for some.
Absolutely. Let's see here. I think Shae is going to go wrangle a mutt.
I am. I will be right back. I apologize.
No, absolutely.
And
take your time.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Honestly, this is a great time for us to ask if there's anybody in the chat that has any specific questions that they would like to ask Gilly. Please post them. I know that we've kind of gone off topic and we've asked a bunch of our questions, but I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Okay, I'm good. So one of our very first subscribers to our channel was Skit, who you've seen in the chat a lot.
Nice, yeah.
And he classically asked 2 questions. And so since he had to leave because his wife was calling him to come to bed, which is totally understandable.
This is about my wife right now in a little bit. I think she fell asleep on the couch. We're good.
I'm totally gonna do him a solid and ask the 2 questions that he usually asks while we wait for more questions. Let me just put this in the chat really quickly.
Okay.
Questions. There we go. So I think that was straightforward enough. So the questions that he likes to ask creators, because he of course has not launched his campaign yet, he's just shown a lot of the concept art at this point, is what do you feel was the best thing, the best like choice or decision or tier or something, that the best choice that you made in doing your campaign?
I think having variety. My campaign is a little bit bigger, so I kind of like added a bunch of rewards. Don't be afraid to get creative with the rewards. And what I mean by that is because, like I told you, how I had $1,000 reward. I didn't think anyone would take it. One person backed it. I also had a $3,000 reward for someone that would kind of be the cameo for like our main bad guy character. He walks around with like a mask. You don't see the animal that he is underneath. So literally, you're gonna tell us like what he is underneath, like what animal, whatnot. So
interesting.
And they backed it, and I was kind of like excited, but also like wow. And then once the campaign was over, I'm like, okay, the money did clear. Like, okay, this is real. Like, he didn't back out, no refund or nothing. So that was like cool that someone, So definitely have variety. As you saw, I had the $15 reward for digital. I would say have digital just because there's some people that might want to really be into your book, can't afford it. And that really helps out. And sometimes there's people that want to back a lot of campaigns, and a digital option allows them to do that. So for me, I think the best thing was that I had a lot of variety, and that, I was trying to be fair with the pricing, the price points, and that in my crazy reward ideas, some of them panned out. So, be creative and have fun with it.
And I would probably say, there's the balance. I mean, obviously you don't want to have 40 tiers on your campaign. So the overall advice I would probably give to people who have not launched their campaign yet is feel out your audience. Talk to your social media following, find out what they would really want in it. Stretch goals as well. I mean, some campaigns really benefit from really pushing up like the quality paper and stuff like that, and some people want merch like pins and bumper stickers or window clings or all that kind of stuff. And some comics lend themselves to those things and some don't. Like, for instance, I mean, this is something that would absolutely do great with a bookmark and a sticker and a pin and stuff like that. But I mean, some of your darker comics, would you really want to see a window cling of like,
somebody being decapitated?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a comic or something like that. Or, I mean, Shae would because she's fucked up. But
this is so true. I'd be like, look at my window cling.
I love horror. Horror is a beautiful thing, but yeah,
exactly. So that's half of his usual question. The other is, if you had this to do over again, what would you do differently about your campaign?
That's a good question. Anytime you crowdfund a campaign, it's stressful because, again, you're relying on money you don't know that you'll get. So if what I would do differently, I mean, that's a good question. That's a question that I might not have an answer to. What could I say? Do
you want to pass and we'll come back to it?
I feel like I'm under pressure. Like, I got to answer this, like, what would I do differently? You know what? I would do nothing differently for this campaign. There's other campaigns that I would definitely do things differently for. For Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, I had very high hopes. I've had very high ambitions, and I didn't think I thought I could make at least a 15K. I didn't think it would overfund the way it did. So for this particular campaign, I wouldn't change anything aside from maybe cleaning up how it looked, like the overall presentation of the campaign. Like, I have a bunch of images there that are repeated. So if I would do something again, it maybe hire these guys to, give me a little advice on how to set up, the campaign in a way that is pleasing to the eye and might be more, streamlined, where people could just, probably feel comfortable looking through all the stuff. But that's a minor gripe.
A lot of campaigns could benefit from that. Honestly, we don't charge for that kind of stuff anymore. So if you do want our help with that, absolutely, just hit us up off air, and we're happy to do it whenever we have the chance.
For sure, no doubt. I know you guys are busy as well.
Well, Shae is. Yeah, I mean, just hit us up, and I'll be happy to take a look for you, and Shae will throw in her 2 cents when available. That's definitely something I would suggest to everybody. I mean, have a friend look at it. Have a friend that has an eye for editing. Look at something, or an eye for marketing.
Or that's just an asshole. That'll tell you things because they're very blunt and straightforward.
Right, like I'm asshole on my dad's side, but I also have like that editorial eye, and Shae has that marketing eye, and is like asshole on both sides. So I mean.
No, the marketing eye is good, man. That's a gift. People that have that, that's a freaking gift. And we're crowdfunding. There's people that have crowdfunded so much money is because they just know how to market something. It's incredible.
Right.
For sure. Well, so I remember seeing this forever ago, but I saw it and then it just kind of disappeared from my timeline for a while, and I was like, oh, that was a weird looking little comic.
I heard about this months ago, like literally months ago, and then like for a long time I didn't hear anything, and then Shae's like, how about let's get GROM on, and I'm like, that's still a thing? Holy shit, yeah. Yeah,
well that was the funny thing, is because I think that we both saw it like independently but around the same time, and then it just kind of like poofed for a minute. And
how did you guys find it? Because I'm curious, because I try my best to promote, again, like if I could do one thing differently, I guess maybe it'd be work on the marketing angle. I tried promoting this on Facebook. It was, I've tried promoting on Reddit, some up and downs. Twitter for me was the most feedback, and that's because Comic Day. So I was trying to get on everyone's channel, but I don't know everyone's channel. I was just trying to work within what I knew. And I'll definitely try to get on, I guess, the bigger channels like Mainland and EVS. I was able to get on Mainland early on, but not when the project was picking up steam. But Red Eagle was really cool, dude. Golden Eagle, really cool, dude.
Raging Golden Eagle,
Golden Eagle. Yeah, he just messaged me on Twitter, and he saw me hustling on EVS's stream. I was trying to get on EVS's show. He's like, I kind of saw. He's like, you know what? And he just messaged me, and he's like, hey, how about you get on? And I'm like, okay. And then when I saw he had a pretty great YouTube following, I'm like, wow. So that was pretty nice. Mm-hmm. So just how did you guys actually what was it like where you saw this? Because that's awesome. Because again, Shae, you hit me up on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, let's do this. So,
I know that because Sai and I had talked about it at those months ago, and then we both thought that it was just done. But then Tompa, who is our unofficial scout with as much as he pushes all of these projects out.
I love that guy.
He had posted it. A couple people in some of our chats were talking about how great the art looked and everything, and and we went, let's see if it's still around, and there it is in demand. So I just hit up Simon, was like, wait, what do you think? So that's kind of how it goes.
Cool.
The name of the game for us and for Red Valkyrie is we put projects on that we actually believe in, something that we would buy, something that we think that the art is good, the story is good, the creators are good, it's something that's worth promoting. We have a lot of people that ask to come on our show, and unfortunately we've had to tell a couple of them, we're sorry, we don't think that your project is quite there, or we don't think that it would be a good fit. And a lot of people get upset by that. But I mean, the thing is I'm not here to stroke everyone's ego and make them feel better. I'm here to review good comics. And I'm pretty sure Cy feels the same way, but she can speak for herself.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gatekeeping. It's just a matter of we approach this as consumers. And so it's like, I mean, if I wouldn't buy something, why am I going to help advertise it? Or if I have no faith in it, or if you have like a comic that has no art, or, you know, just like really, really freaky, you know, stuff. And some people don't know any better. Some people legit are just tracing fucking famous artists and trying to get on our show. And it's like, you know, we just don't got time for that shit. There are enough honest people that we'd like to promote that actually have a good quality product that aren't going to tap their customers when they get a buck. So
exactly.
Right on, man. That's pretty. I appreciate that, guys, because it's integrity, man. You guys wouldn't put something on that you wouldn't back, and I think that's how it should be. And I think it does good for the community. And if there's people that you actually turn down, I mean, it's not a knock to them. It's just, hey, you know, it should be like you got to strive, you know, for more. You got to, you know, grind harder. Is this what it is?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, honestly, I have been intrigued by your book for a while, mostly because for the longest time I wasn't entirely sure what like what the characters were, and then the second it was like, oh yeah, Capybara, and I was like, we have anthropomorphized Capybara, like I am so down, because they're like the cutest rodent I've ever seen that I could ride into battle.
They're amazing. They can swim underwater. They're just incredible. Like I said, if it wasn't Capybaras, I don't think this book would. But not, I don't think this book wouldn't be what it is without the Capybara. Like it couldn't. I mean, what other animal you're gonna? That's the thing. Like if you think about it, right? We already know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle phase, and like it's still the Ninja Turtles are still doing well because again, they're never gonna go away.
No.
But at the same time, you know, there's a way to do an anthropomorphized series or whatnot, but do it right. And the key is the animal. And we've seen frogs. There's actually something on Netflix that I don't know. I can't even remember the name. I saw it. Somehow I saw it just scouting it. I think on Twitter I saw it. I'm like, what? Like literally there's an anthropomorphized frog. I can't even talk. Anthropomorphized frogs, literally a cartoon on Netflix. Kumokiri, something like I don't even know. And I saw that, and it didn't appeal to me. The art looks really good, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, but it's frogs. They're too like we know frogs, right? Turtles is cool because we know turtle, but we never see them as cool characters, and that's what I think it works. So I'm thinking, what is an animal that would be cool? Earthworm Jim, I think, is awesome because it's a freaking earthworm, for goodness sake. And it's like this power suit. So, I mean, that works. Cyber Frog, I think, is cool because, again, when you think about it, the ship kind of like just has to pick some animals to, you know, it picks the frog, it picks the salamander. So that was interesting, right? So I'm like, capybaras, like, we've seen mice, but capybaras are so damn cool that once you understand the beauty and magic and the charm of a capybara, like you're hooked. It's like you're hooked. Like they're believable badasses. I'm sorry, you see them as mellow and everything. To me, if you could get along with a crocodile, that's all I needed to know. You're a believable badass. So
the majestic stallion.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're just cool.
One of the things that I think is really kind of cool is the way that you have a reptile that is like their mentor, and it's almost like a complete flip of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I had to do that, yeah.
Right, because it's like they have a rat that is their mentor, and you're like, well, I have gigantic rodents, and they have a reptile as their mentor. So boom, like
that character, his name is Gangon. He's a gunslinger. That he is so cool. I'm telling you, he's an amazing character. I think the story works well, and like I said, there's so many little nuggets of fan service in there. I mean, I reference even video games like Star Fox. I reference, you know, like Battletoads. I have references for. They're not obvious. Some of them might be. Some of them are not. And I'm just gonna say this right here. If you think the Ninja Turtles are cool, right? I'm not gonna say I have Ninja Turtles and Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, but we do have turtle ninjas. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, we got a squad of turtle ninjas. And I'll just leave it with this. They're alligator snapper turtles, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Exactly, okay. They're in there, okay? Like I said, we play it. We have no shame. But at the same time, we're having fun with it. And we're showing, GROM can still be handled its own. It could play the fan service, it could play all that, but it gets the story out as well.
Yeah. No, this project seems super awesome. It seems like it's a lot of fun. It seems like you've got a lot of really cool elements to it. I'm really excited to see when it comes out, like the full completed.
Sure, no, it'll be special.
100 plus page goodness.
I think now in this day and age, at least for me, I enjoy reading comics, right? But I don't enjoy the monthly format. I had the pull list. I had my pile of shame where I even had the mess up from the LCS where it's like I had Gideon Falls issue 1, 2, 4, and 6. I'm like, hold on, where's issue 3? Like, I'm just saying, like the monthly comic thing doesn't work for me. So I like reading, like almost binge watching. I guess you could say binge reading.
Yeah.
I love the graphic novels. I love sitting down and just going for like the one whole trade. I'm like, okay, now I'll wait for the next part or whatnot. So I wanted to deliver that experience with Galactic Rodents.
And he disappeared.
Oh no! We did so
4 or
good
5
for
chapters.
so long. Oh,
It's not. It's just gonna be that one book. So when you get it, it's like a moment. It's like something like Earthworm Jim. When I got Earthworm Jim in the mail, it's like this big book. It's just like this is gonna be a treat. It's gonna be an event, and that's what I want for people. Like when they get this book, it's gonna be something special. It's gonna be they're gonna enjoy it, read it, and then they're gonna be chomping at the bitch for the second volume. And it's like, well, back to the drawing board. But people are gonna be, at least what I hope is to try to create like a nice little, hype for it and deliver on a great story.
well,
No, absolutely. And you faded out for about 10 seconds, but I think you wrapped up the point pretty well that it was understood what happened in between. So
absolutely. So I feel like any questions that I had were kind of answered just through all of our talks, and we had some awesome sidebars. I don't know, Sai, do you have any other questions?
no, I was busy cursing you in DMs. So give me one
Oh,
second.
that's fine. You can do that as much as you want because I'm not going to read them, so whatever.
Oh,
Really?
that sucks. You write it out and they don't at least read it. At least
That blue check says otherwise.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're so mean.
I heard things.
Look, this is how it happens. You know what? I should put you on the spot right now. Here's my question.
Okay.
Me or Sai?
You have to be one
Side?
specific.
You want me to pick a side? Is that what you
I
said?
do.
Oh,
Me or
Jesus.
Sai? Which side?
Oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm telling you, I can't play Peacemaker here, but
So she reached out and she sent you the link, but I'm the one that makes the link.
okay.
Just keep it.
Without me, would you-
Here's okay. I just gotta. I'm gonna say this. Sai is a man. I'm just gonna say that right now. But I do give Shae credit because she did cosplay Mona Lisa. So,
How about
that's pretty cool.
you're just going to be Switzerland? How about that?
I didn't say who I'm just, I didn't say official what side I'm on. I'm just saying there's some cool things for both parties.
You're going to be Switzerland. You're going to remain neutral.
The neutral dude, yeah, Mr. Neutral. That's not fun, right?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I figured I would ask one final question that you have no way of answering without it going horribly wrong.
Okay. Oh wow.
Well, I definitely feel like we have done a pretty good job covering your campaign. We've covered all of the tiers that are still available. Do you know how much longer you're going to stay in demand?
Pretty much the idea is to stay in demand until we're close to shipping the book to get as much as we can. But now that I'm thinking about possibly bringing GROM to Kickstarter just to get more exposure, I don't know if I should close in demand or just leave it just because people that might find it that particularly rather shop Indiegogo or so I might just leave it in until once it gets set to print. Put like this: once it's in my hands, it's done. So you got a while. We got a while. You got at least until May, at least I'd say safely.
So a couple more months to still.
Yeah, you guys are good. There's still time to get in on this. I want to keep it open as long as possible. I want to make sure everyone enjoys this book because it's going to be worth it.
Unless they hit that stretch goal and your artist becomes a mole person in the basement.
Yeah, then that might, then we'll go a little bit. Yeah, then we'll go a little bit more. Then I'll have to shut down the store probably. But hopefully, we could make that. I would love to, but I don't want to ruin his marriage because he's going to be like a little hermit in the basement, just churning out GROM pages. But if it happens, it happens. We got to that amount. That's good. The demand is there. He'd be happy, and it's all about the backers. And even though I'm talking with a publisher, I just want everyone to know, like, you guys who back the book, you guys are getting your books before anything, no matter what. Like that's the customer. So like this wouldn't even be able to be shopped around, or even be something where people would be scouting our book if it wasn't for the backers and this campaign. So there's no doubt about it that you guys are getting the original copies of GROM, and they'll be signed by me, so they'll be special. So it'll always be cool.
Yep, absolutely, good deal. Alrighty. Well, Shae, did you have anything else?
That was my final question. So honestly, just thanks everyone who came into the chat and said, hey,
right on.
You guys are super awesome. We have a lot of people that have already popped in the chat and said that they were backing and all this kind of stuff. So you've got people that have backed before you, people that are looking at it and thinking that it's really awesome. So that's good. Yeah. And obviously I want to thank Cy for putting this together, even though we fight all the time. Thank you very much for doing all of
I appreciate you, brother.
Back
You're
work.
very welcome.
Thank you, man.
And thank you, Gilly, for coming on. It was super great having you and being able to kind of talk to you about this really unique project. You have a lot of really cool projects that are still in demand. So if you don't know, go to GROM. You can go to Gilly's little bio on Indiegogo, and he's got a bunch of other really cool campaigns that some that are still in demand. So you have Lair, you have the Deep Dark, I believe.
Yeah, the Deep Dark is a real good one too. Definitely check that out, guys. If you like horror, Shae, this one's right up your alley.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask you to cosplay a woman in a bikini. Don't worry about that.
I vetoed that hard because I definitely looked at it and was like, that's not happening. But they definitely you've got a lot of really cool campaigns, and if you're into like Cthulhian horror, then the Deep Dark is a pretty awesome look too. So make sure that you go and check out everything that Gilly's got. He's got a bunch of cool campaigns. Back him several times.
Look at you pontificating.
I know. It's so cute, isn't it? He's just...
This was a fun stream, man. This was very fun. You guys are really great as a duo. And Cy, again, thank you so much. Shae, appreciate the cosplaying. And hopefully looking forward, to doing this again for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe Red Valkyrie. And don't forget to go and back GROM. We've got the links in the chat. We got the links in the description. And yeah, I think that does it for us. So thanks everyone for coming out, and it's been a great show.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.